Hi, it's Liz with Sew for Home with another mini tip for a more professional finish. This is how to crack your interfacing for a smoother, sharper edge. Now, we all know that sewing is rarely just two flat panels that you're going to stitch together and the world is good. If you're working with anything that is any kind of dimension, like a bag or a basket, something like that, you're going to need some sort of stabilization, some sort of interfacing. And what that does, besides give your project some great structure, it also is going to add bulk, especially where panels come together along the edge or you're trying to fold something. And that's where you get kind of that bubbly edge that is not the professional finish you're looking for. So we wanted to share one of our favorite tips for how to overcome that. Putting just a little space, a little crack in between your interfacing panels at that important edge. Now, this works great with just a standard interfacing, a standard fusible. This is a little piece of decor bond to give you a beautiful sharp fold. Now, as an example, this is our super popular hanging pocket, really fast and easy project. It starts as just one panel that is interfaced, and then it folds up, which means we want that nice sharp edge along the bottom. And the way we got that was with this cracked technique. So to do it, rather than working with a single piece of interfacing, you're going to cut it in half. And you really don't need to worry about, exact measurements or anything. You're just adding the tiniest little bit of a crack between the panels. But you're going to work with two instead of one solid panel. Fuse your first one in place, coming right up to your fold point. Get your other one ready, and rather than butting them right up together, just the tiniest little bit of crack between the two of them, fuse it in place, and then when you fold it, your fold is going to come right on that bit of actual fabric without the interfacing. So it's going to be smoother and sharper. Now, this also works really great when you're dealing with something thicker. This is just a little piece of canvas, and we're going to work with a fusible foam. Love this kind of stuff because it's not only a good structure, but it's also kind of soft. So the same technique, you're going to work with two pieces instead of one, but there's an additional step when you're working with something like this that's dimensional. I want you to just take a little pair of scissors, and I want you to make about a 45-degree angle along both of the edges that are going to come together. So this one I've already fused in place, as you can see, so I would have cut that beforehand. Just snip along the edge. It doesn't have to be pretty or fancy or anything like that. Just make a little edge. And if you've ever done any woodworking or watched someone do woodworking, this is the same principle as how like a corner of two pieces of molding will come together. You can't take two 90-degree angles and expect them to meet beautifully. But if you have that angle, then they come together. So the same thing, put one down, put the next one down right next to it, fuse it in place, and then they come together and it makes a beautiful sharp edge. And this is something that we used to a great result in these little guys. These are our popular half-round hanging baskets. Have the fusible foam in them. They're beautifully soft around the front, but the back is a separate panel. And that, again, those are the two areas that we use that cracked interfacing technique. Can't see it from the outside, but it gives you a sharp corner around to a smooth front. So I'm going to put a link to both of these projects. They're free so that you can practice this technique on these projects and anything else when you are encountering something where you want a nice, sharp, smooth, professional edge. Thanks for listening and happy sewing.